It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, all right? Now, you're not married too, are you? Okay, cool.
I prefer to be single.
No, what you preferred was my... That's what your ass preferred.
No, she tried to come on to me.
Yeah, but you wanted to fuck her, didn't you? No. So you was really about to come to my house, try to fuck me, and then go and try to fuck her.
Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of Blu-ray Tuesday with the mean one. Ho ho no, and Merry Christmas to all y'all. Hopefully y'all in the Christmas spirits. I'm trying to get in the Christmas spirits, but it's been a mess. Let me tell y'all, at work today, girl, I had to break up a fight between a big fat cart security guard and this big fat bum. I couldn't believe it. They gonna call me to the front. Why you gonna call me to the front to deal with these people? I walk up and you see this man. I don't know why he had 3 layers of pants on. He had one pants down to his ankles, his shorts down to his ass, and his shitty drawers up on his booty. If he bent over, I would have seen the full moon, bitch, because it was a mess. Anyways, he was going back and forth with this security guard that's sitting in his car going, "You a bum, you a crackhead." And I was like, oh my God, get him out of here. Like, girl, what you want? He's like, he's calling me a crackhead and I'm just on my phone. He's like, he ain't got no money, get him out your stuff. I was like, oh my God, it is Christmas. You just rolling around in this car. I see you took 2 breaks. I took a break too. I was outside. I saw your fat ass sitting on the cart. You off the cart. You're on a stump. You can't take a break in that car. Oh, probably because he drives it around the whole time. He don't be doing nothing. He nice though, but I get it. He looked like a bum. I don't know why his pants is all the way down to his knees and he's wearing shorts under those. It was up under his booty cheeks. Anyways, they were fighting about the fight and all this stuff, and there was a big ruckus in the stove. Customers were just so scared. They couldn't even leave. They're all standing off to the side like, ooh, jinkies. So, like Scooby-Doo, they be scared. Obviously, they don't have coal in their little stockings on Christmas morning. They finally left. They saw a big black man. They go, oh, let me get the up out of here. So they left. Can y'all believe Christmas is only a few days away? So December 22nd, Unnamed Footage Festival doing a little mini Christmas found footage. You ain't gotta pay for it, it's free. So come join the fun, join the chat, and let's get into it. Also, what's going on in this episode? So I'm gonna talk about some Christmas horror movies, some psychological thrillers, a Tubi movie that had me gooped and gagged. So y'all gotta stay tuned, and some Blu-rays. So let's get into episode 111, y'all. First up, let me talk about some movies that I had this past week that came late. So with this shipping and stuff, everyone's ordering their gifts and all these sales and everything becoming late. But I got me a deal. All right, so I haven't ever seen this show, girl, but this is called Titans. This is when Robin, Batman's Robin, the dick one, I think is his name, Nightwing. So he has his all show. In the first season, a lot of people were like talking shit about all their costumes and shit. Titans season 4 just freaking ended. And I finally got it because I own all the seasons. I'm a completist, so I want to watch it one day. I love DC, but I heard the show got way better. I bought this, it was on stuff like $10. I was so happy on Amazon. No slipcover, so that's really annoying because on this, all the other releases had a slipcover. This one don't. So, that's just, collector problems. This is my issue. Got another movie that I love. My fellow green people, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, TMNT Mutant Mayhem with Ice Cube as your favorite villain. I love this movie. I want to watch it again and again. I saw this in theater. The soundtrack was great. Lots of 90s hip hop. The characters are funny. I loved Master Splinter. Y'all gotta check this out. I got the 4K release. It has lots of extras and all this shit it says. I can't really read through this mask. It's on Paramount Plus if you guys want to stream it at home. Also, Best Buy, if y'all got one with Blu-rays, has a steelbook with a skateboard. It's kind of nice. I picked this up and I love it. Next up, guys, that I got that came out last week is The Wailing. This movie came out years ago, but they re-released this in 4K Ultra HD. That's the only thing different about this. But it was only $16 at Best Buy. I was shocked. This is a great deal. This movie has a beautiful slipcover on this and a couple of bonus features. All this shit's the same as the regular one because I double checked. But the only thing is it comes with the 4K disc, which is awesome. If y'all seen this, I heard a lot of good things. I actually own this, I think. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember seeing this, but I was reading about it. I don't know if I've seen this movie, but I heard everyone said it was so good. All right, I can't see y'all. Next up is another movie that is perfect if y'all just came out, and it is The Creator. If y'all want to add this to y'all stocking stuffers, I don't know, it's a sci-fi movie. I remember I went to go see this, talk about this before. I was all excited, I had a little free screening, which I thought was the movie. We get there, it was just a sneak peek. They showed not 1, not 2, but 3 scenes. Every scene, somebody got blown up. The Creator. So this past week, I was feeling slightly under the weather, so I was just in the bed watching movies. First one I watched is on VOD called Cat Person. I was like, what the could this be? But I read it's a psychological thriller, more like a drama, kinda, but it has like horrific scenes. I don't know. This movie opens up with this little quote. It says, men are afraid a woman would laugh at them, and women are afraid that men will kill them. I ain't never heard this quote. What kind of book y'all get? What kind of cosmopolitan magazine that y'all read this in? So basically the movie opens up with this girl. She works at a movie theater. I'm like, oh yay, movies. And she's very knowledgeable in horror, like Psycho and Hitchcock and all this shit. Very knowledgeable. And she sees this guy. He comes in all the time by himself. He always orders a large popcorn and some red vines. She caught herself trying to flirt, like, who orders red vines? Like, no one orders these anymore. He was like, well, I do. And then they have this little interaction. He goes to have popcorn and his red vines, and she just be watching him. He comes in all the time, and then she just taking a liking to him. She has visions, like, things will happen in her head, but they don't really happen in real life. Like, she had a vision of her just watching him and going to sit next to him in the theater. And I was like, oh, look at this bitch. But that didn't really happen. So when she's around men, she gets scared or something. She walks home after work and it's always dark. And she's afraid, like she sees a guy walking across the street. There's a scene where he like attacks her, but then that doesn't happen. So as the movie progresses, it's like, okay, is this in her head? Is this happening? Basically, it's like a love story because as the movie goes on, she finally gets courage and he asks her out. He asks for her number or some shit. And they just be texting, and it's great texting. Like, they be flirting, and I was like, oh, this is so cute. And she just loves everything about this man. She tells her roommate about it, and her roommate, she's funny. She's like, oh, how old is he? Because they're like sophomores in college. So they're like 19 or 20, I think they are. She's like, oh, well, he's 25. She's like, 25? Ew, he's old. I was like, bitch, who are you? How is that old? The girl's a bookworm. She'd be in the school studies all the time. One night she goes home, she sees a dog, and it's starting to rain. The dog is just looking like, ooh, let me in. She lives in a dorm. You ain't supposed to have pets, so tries to sneak it in. And tell me why this little Heffelham monitor ass bitch gonna open the door and say, excuse me, you can't have a dog here. She's like, oh, but it's gonna rain. Like, the bitch is like, no. She's like, get the dog up out this house. So she had to throw the dog back outside. She wakes up and she hears some noises. She goes in the hallway and there's blood everywhere. Couldn't find out the dog and ripped that bitch's head off. I was like, blood everywhere. So this movie took a turn. This dog is Cujo. Guess what? That shit didn't happen. But I wish it did. So there's a lot of moments like that. So basically she starts texting this guy. He's like, tricks or Fruity Pebbles. And she's like, I like Fruity Pebbles if it's the Bam Bam kind. Bitch, I didn't know there was different Fruity Pebbles. I love cereal, and bitch, I didn't even know that, and I'm fat. He brings her the Bam Bam Fruity Pebbles. They hang out. She thinks he's gonna date her. That don't happen. And then they start hanging out, but when they hang out, it's weird because she ain't feeling him. He can't kiss. Ooh, that kiss was disgusting. And he can't. Girl, I couldn't believe it. When they were trying to, he was like, ooh, I want to. She was like, I am not into this. Y'all gotta see this sex scene. It was so uncomfortable. So after the sex, or lack thereof, she had to pretend like she was gonna come. He was putting her in weird positions that he saw on the Pornhub that he was watching earlier in the movie. She kept bumping her head against shit. It was so bad. I've been there, girl. I've been there. Her roommate, she steals her phone and tells him, I'm not interested. And after that, all hell breaks loose because he be calling her whores. He be stalking her. It gets crazy. But y'all should watch it. I thought it was interesting. Like, a lot of shit was happening, but was it happening? Cat person, check it out. All right, y'all, let's move into some Christmas. Y'all in the spirit yet? Let's talk about this movie that I did not like called A Creature Was Stirring. It stars the big woman from This Is Us. I can't remember her fucking name. I've never seen her in a horror movie, but she was the big woman from that TV series. She's a mama or a nurse to this girl from Degrassi. Have y'all seen Degrassi? It's the girl with the curly hair. I forgot her name too. She's from Degrassi. And they're like hanging out. She's giving her some shots. She's fed her some like milk and cookies for Christmas. I don't know. She puts her in her room, and the little girl, it puzzles me. She went into her room and put on a boxing mask that they about to fight. I'm like, what is happening? So she puts on her boxing mask and her gloves, and then the mama, the big girl, she closed the door and locked it. And the daughter, she's something wrong with this bitch. She walked to the door and started banging her head all over the walls. She's doing all this acrobatical matrix shit all over the room. This bitch is crazy. She transformed. So she's this creature that's stirring in this home. And this big bitch, she's trying to like protect her. Ooh, this movie twisted. Oh, I'm remembering stuff. I don't want to spoil this. After all this is happening, you got Scout Taylor Compton. Oh, I hate this bitch. But Scout Taylor Compton with these f***ed cornrows. Bitch, who did your hair? Why you got blue, purple, and green cornrows? What's that boy? The cuck from Revenge? I thought he was gay. He looked like it. So he and her, they break into this. There's a home invasion during this creature stirring. The woman's trying to stop them, so she gets a bat with some knives on it. You know, the bat with the pointy shit? And she stabs the bitch. I was like, yes, go big girl. I was happy. They go in, she tries to stop them, and she ends up making them hot chocolate because she felt bad for the people because it's cold outside, it's snowing. So I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a huge twist that y'all ain't gonna catch. That's the only thing I liked about the movie. Y'all pay attention, y'all get it. Y'all gotta watch it. So it's called A Creature is Stirring. I personally, there's things about this I did not like too much, but I think it's a good movie that y'all should check out. It's Christmas, so y'all should watch it. It's another Christmas horror movie. You can find this one on Shudder, and it's called The Sacrifice Game. This takes place in 1971, and it stars the boy from Aladdin, the live action one, the Aladdin guy who never got no jobs after that movie. He just went, nobody said, ain't hiring you, but Shudder said, we gonna hire you. So he takes on a whole new character. He a cult leader in this movie. He a cult. So it opens up with him and his 3 friends, his cult. Oh, it's 3 days for Christmas. Let me just tell you, 3 days. It's very important. 3. So they walk up to these people. They're like, oh, you know, I guess someone just left their house. It was him and this girl. They walk up. This is the opening scene. They knock on the door. This little man, he opens it. Aladdin just stabs him in the neck. And all the blood just going everywhere. And then the girl in the group gets the blood and draws pictures on the wall and little cult symbols and shit. And the wife comes downstairs ready to like bring some eggnog and cookies or some shit. And then they kill her ass too. And they throw her on the table and they rip off her clothes. Thought the man were gonna, you know. But then they stab her in her guts and they squish it down. I was like, oh my God, this is a good movie. And they got boring. It goes to this young girl. Her name is Clara. So she's at a boarding school with all other little girls. And she's kind of a loner. She cuts herself. She's goth, I guess. I thought it was a boy. There's a nice teacher. She reminded me of Miss Honey from Matilda, but her name was Rose. I guess it's one of the same. So Miss Rose, she has to stay at this boarding school during Christmas weekend because these girls have nowhere to go. Clara, and she meets this other unnecessary, no, she's not unnecessary, but she ain't got nobody. Her name is Samantha. So these girls befriend themselves because they're both loners. Samantha saw Clara cutting herself in the bathroom. I don't want to spoil this too much, but basically they have to stay at this boarding school. So these 3 girls stuck in a boarding school by themselves on Christmas during the crazy weather, and these the 4 cult people, they all come for dinner. So Miss Rose was making little treats and stuff for the girls, and they had activities planned, and they're making dinner. And here comes Aladdin and his cult on their magic carpet, and they come up and say, oh, we're here for Christmas dinner. And Rose all scared, like, y'all can't come up in here. And they come in. Anyways, basically this cult, what they doing is they're doing these steps, because the girl, she read a spell book on releasing a demon if they sacrifice all these people so that they become rich and famous or some shit. I don't know, the 70s. They had nothing else better to do, but they're just doing drugs. This is all the first like 15, 20 minutes. They had to sacrifice one pure girl. I'll just tell you, they killed one of them. They realized it didn't work. Where's the demons? The lights was flickering, shit was happening, but there was no demon. Girl, this is when the movie took a whole twist. The first half is about this cult trying to release this demon or some shit in the boarding school. The atmosphere is perfect for a great horror Christmas feature. But then it gets weird. Y'all gotta watch it. It's good. It's on Shudder, called The Sacrifice Game. Merry Christmas to you. Y'all got some homework. Y'all gotta go watch these movies and let me know it's Christmas. Ho ho no, y'all. All right, y'all. So it's Terrell's Tubi time. Yes, I'm excited. So I watched this movie on Tubi that I saw on TikTok and Twitter. Everyone was talking about how crazy this movie was and how crazy this bitch was. So this movie is called Please. It's not a Tubi original, but it's on Tubi. It's good. I love this movie. Out of everything I watched, I was just cracking up at this movie. This bitch was insane. So the premise of this film is about this girl who gets revenge on cheaters. Have y'all been cheated on? Because this woman been cheated on way too much. So basically it opens up with a man screaming, please, and you see in blood, cheaters must die, and then you hear a chainsaw. And I'm like, oh, we in for it for this movie. And then it goes to the daytime, everything's happy, and there's this woman, the main character, the girl, and she is with this man. Okay, their relationship was perfect. Well, I thought they faked the funk. They're having troubles conceiving a baby because her uterus is brutally damaged, is what they said. When she was a young girl, she was touched a lot by this man, and she killed him with a statue. She bashed his head in. So she tries to have a baby. She wants to give this man this baby. She just like, oh, I'm about to give you this baby. I'm gonna get this pussy off for you. That's how she talks. It's crazy because he's like, oh yeah, baby, you know I'm here for you, whatever we have to do. And he just seems so good. He do everything for her. Like one time he's like, oh, let's stay late at work. He came to her job, brought her like cookies, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna be late. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, oh, I might go somewhere afterwards. He said, do you want to come? He think he's slick trying to invite her, knowing damn well she's gonna say no. He's like, don't wait up. So mind you, they had a perfect relationship, and I'm just like, okay, perfect. They about to have little babies and shit. She calls him, and the phone ringing. Then here we go. We see this girl riding this dick. Her titties was big. They were just out flapping like this. She was like, give it to me, daddy. I was so mad. It's like, you're cheating on this girl. She was a beautiful black woman. She kept calling. So the woman answered the phone and said, bitch, stop calling my man's phone. The main girl, the cheater killer, she went crazy. Veins was popping out her head. She went Super Saiyan. I ain't never seen no acting like this. It was overacting to the max. I was what's Super Saiyan mode? Like, who? I don't know, but that's what she did. She was all over stomping up and down. Guess what? This is this other woman. He got a kid with her. So he giving babies to this bitch, and then the wife, I guess they're supposed to be married, he couldn't have no babies with her. So he had 2 families. You would have thought this was Tokyo. This is crazy. So she went crazy, and she meets this other guy. So the second guy, she meet him at the jewelry shop. He buying jewelry and shit. And then he's like, oh, I need to take you out on a date. You know, he got a thug. She was like, okay, daddy. You go do that little time goes on. Same thing, he be cheating. So she locks him in the basement. Let me tell you, by the end of this movie, she got all these men just locked in the basement. There's a scene where she chops off one guy's dick. They show it, she grabs it. She pulled the pants down, she grabbed it and just chop it. I was like, oh my God, that was so painful just watching. And then he kept talking. She like, you better shut the up or I put your dick in your mouth. I was like, this movie's crazy. I cannot. This movie's stupid. Basically, this movie is just her dating with these different dudes, different crazy shit happening. One dude had a girl. One dude was banging this other girl, but then I guess they broke up. He was gonna hit her, so she was like, oh, you can't abuse women. So she tried to seduce him, rode his dick, and then put him in the basement too. Her daddy is a detective. This is where it gets crazy, because the detective's trying to figure out where all these men are going. He be showing up at her house and seeing different cars, and her house is huge. How'd she pay for that house? I don't know. I feel like I was spoiling this whole movie. Y'all gotta wait into it. This movie is amazing. I wanna watch it again. So if y'all wanna watch it, we should have a watch party. This movie is crazy. I loved it. The acting was over the top. With some good looking gentlemen up in this movie. I get it. While she was like, she kept flocking to them, but they all was just the bad ones. They just be cheating. It's like a slasher because she be f***ing these people up. And she's crazy. Her acting is... And she's obviously a rapper, too. Afterwards, she had a whole ass music video. I thought this was Jocelyn Hernandez from the Zeus Network. But y'all should check it out. It's called Please on Tubi. Y'all love it. Another thing I watched over the week, it's on Netflix. It's a great show I binged called Obliterated. If y'all like action, comedy, crazy cuckoo-ness, if y'all like A Weekend at Bernie's mixed with Mission Impossible and The Hangover, you're gonna love this show. It's very raunchy, extremely raunchy. You're gonna see graphic nudity. You can see... You're gonna see things blowing up. You're gonna see heads, robots. You can see lesbianist situations. This show is crazy. It's 8 episodes. It got bootleg Brad Pitt, bootleg Angelina, bootleg Michelle Rodriguez, but they all great. My favorite was Trunk, the black dude. If once you watch it, you'll see why they call him Trunk. And then I like the Maya, the one that went to the strip club. They got the whipped cream dick. And I like Ava. Ava's the main character. If you guys are fans of Unfriended, she played the main character in Unfriended. And it had Nick Zano. Nick Zano was the goofy guy that was in the pool in Final Destination 4 where it sucked him down the tube. Obliterated. Check it out on Netflix. So back to the Blu-ray. So this is a movie... The movie of the hour. It's called The Mean One. Yes, with David Howard Thornton. Terrifier, if y'all, more familiar. But this movie is a fucking mess. It's basically the Grinch, but they can't say Grinch, so they call him the Finch. And it's very Christmassy. It has a MMA fighter as your lead girl. And there's lots of cool candy cane guns and weird shit. It's reminiscent of the Winnie the Pooh movie. I think I like Winnie the Pooh one more. I'm excited for part 2. There's a whole scene where all these Santas come into the bar and y'all get killed by the Finch. I don't know. I forgot. I watched this last year, but I can't wait to rewatch it. So this is called The Mean One. Yes. Okay, so this Blu-ray Tuesday, a lot of re-releases came out. Let's talk about it. So Avatar, bitch, they released Avatar and Avatar The Waves of the Waters 4K like a few months ago. I was all excited to get them both remastered, especially the first one, because I my old 3D copy locked away somewhere. So I was like, okay, let me get the 4K. Bitch, today, this Blu-ray Tuesday, December 19th, they re-released Avatar 1 with 3 hours of extra bonus features on top of the 15 they already got, and 3 hours extra on the new movie. I'm like, bitch, where were these 3 hours when the shit was released 3 months ago? Why are you gonna make us buy this shit again? And why is it $45.99? Y'all crazy. That shit stayed in the store. Y'all got me f***ed up with the little blue people. Because that movie, I don't want 28 copies of that. This ain't Star Wars, bitch. I'm sorry. No. Also, the Warriors dropped today in a cute little box. for 4K. Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. Y'all like that on Paramount Plus? I didn't, but maybe y'all did. But that dropped today. The last one, y'all probably don't like this either because I got some messages. And it is Exorcist Believer. So the Exorcist Believer had not one, but 2 exclusives. So if y'all like this cover, there's this steelbook at Walmart. Also, they have a steelbook at Best Buy that's more reminiscent of their OG cover. This is the first of a trilogy, y'all. So this movie is gonna have The Exorcist Deceiver, I believe next year or 2025. And then they have the third one. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was okay. The first half is more of like a not murder mystery, but like a missing persons. I don't know. I wish they did more with it, because what happened in that tunnel? I want to see. I bet you they're saving shit for like part 2 or 3 or whatever. They brought back old girl from the first one. I don't know why they went to her for help, because the bitch wasn't very helpful in the first one anyways. The bitch, wasn't she outside the room? What the fuck is she gonna do? The mama. The 2 little kids, they both did great. They're doing conventions. I think CreepyCon and Monsterpalooza, they're gonna be there, so that's kind of cool. I just thought it was okay. So we'll see. I'm gonna check out the next one, and I like this cover a lot. So, yeah, lots of bonus features too. Yeah, let me know what y'all got. Y'all got some cool stocking stuffers. There's lots of deals going on, y'all, so take a look at that. I hope y'all have a happy holiday. Ho, ho, no. I'm gonna talk to y'all next week. I'll see y'all hopefully in the chat for the Unnamed Footage Festival's Christmas event this Friday. Have a great Grinchmas. Okay. Sorry. Did you see that? Yeah. Just sinking. Okay. Cut all this. All right.